Yo, can everybody hear me? Just checking the audio real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. I usually have my mask on for the public live. So let me mask up real quick for everybody. Mask up. And then I take it off for my members. Can everybody hear me? Nah, we're gonna save that for the private. The private live is gonna get a little bit reckless tonight because some of the female figures that I have to show off, I have some really X-rated female figures to show off. I don't even want to show them off during the public live because I really don't want to get in trouble. And I know for a fact I'm going to get in trouble by YouTube if I try to show these action figures off on the public live. So maybe if I show it off on the private live, I won't get in that much trouble. Give me 1 second to set all this stuff up. Now, okay. I got the background music. We just chilling tonight, but there was some funny shit that happened with the whole Mcfarlane video. I just want to address, there's so many funny comments. If any of you guys seen the Mcfarlane video, give me 1 second. Make sure we got everything set up here. Bring in one of the beautiful Find My Figures ladies, my wife. I don't know if her audio is good or not. Let me try to.
Can you guys hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Just
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good tonight.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, we just chilling, just a light stream, man. Just talking about some funny shit. That's all. Any of the crazy shit happens during the private members chat. Link in the description if you want to join the channel, become a member, and get access to all the private stuff, man. But just publicly, in general, publicly, I released a Mcfarlane video, and and I wasn't expecting. I can't say I wasn't, but I wasn't expecting so many people to be upset in the comments. But I know Mcfarlane, he has his diehard. There's a lot of Mcfarlanes out there, and he definitely has his diehards. But before we even get into the show, give me 1 second. Just want to say hi to everybody in the chat real quick. Hey, we got Mython the Python. Ninja was making me sweat for a second with the mask off. Too much. I appreciate you, bro. I heard from a little birdie that he wasn't at work tonight too, which is really good, man. I hate when that guy's driving and trying to participate in live streams and shit. It's just, I worry too much. Hey, what's up, T Baggins? I guess you changed your name. I like that photo, but what is going on, man? Argo in the building.
T Baggins said he was going to come on with his fem account so that way he can make sure to secure that pink Vanguard. So that's his way to introduce us to his female account.
Okay, that makes sense. If anybody's seen one of the most recent 3POA live, Valor was already talking about how many people are bothering him for pink Vanguards. He underestimated big time how many people are actually going to want pink Vanguards, man. 1 second. There's a lot of people here tonight just chilling. Everybody's just chilling. Hey, we got Ted Darklaw in the house. What's going on? Hella dope. So let me just use that as a segue. The first thing that I want to talk about tonight, give me 1 second. First thing I want to talk about is hella dope partnering up with Mython the Python for these mugs. Guys, if you don't know, if you haven't got one yet, we've already ordered quite a few, but the link is in the description to the video. Scott, babe, maybe one of you guys could put the link in the chat. It looks, one of you just did it. Thank you. But all the proceeds go to the Banter Bricks Fund for the Affleck Cancer and Blood Disorder Center. And you get a nice ass mug. So at the same time you get to fight cancer, you get a nice ass mug, man. So everybody, please just check it out. I mean, even if you don't want to buy the mug, head over to Hella Dope Toys, man. Just check it out, man. I think it's definitely worth it. Like I said, we've already ordered a few. I'm seeing a lot of people online. I don't think, Mython said it, but I don't think him or the Hella Dope guys was expecting so many people to order this mug, man. And it's all the proceeds are going to a good cause. So I don't think they were expecting as many orders as they're actually getting. I just want to keep surprising them with more and more orders. So this will be available from August 25th to September 8th. So it's only up until September 8th, and then it's gone after that. I think this should be like an annual thing that they do, but I talked to Mython about that. Like, I think annually, every year we should do something like this. This was really nice. And if you guys didn't catch their show, definitely go check out their most recent live with Mython on it. It was record breaking, literally. I think it broke some numbers. Mython said, I'm matching the sales up to 5. Okay, yep. And he did say that during the Hella Dope show, that he will match whatever the sales are up to $500, which is crazy. That we're supposed to be, donating towards his cause and, the cancer center and everything, like, and this guy's sitting here throwing more money out, matching everybody's orders. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Legend series in the building. What's going on? We love Mython the Python. Ain't that facts? Ain't that absolute facts, man? So before we talked about anything Mcfarlane, I just wanted to let you guys know, please go check out the mug. Order one. It can't hurt. It's only $10. And because Hella Dope is shipping it, that is going to get to you super, super fast. So I think we ordered our mugs literally. Usually when I order action figures from Hella Dope, they wind up at my house within like 48 hours. And I don't know how, because they don't live anywhere by me. Not Top Goon is in the house. Yo, Joe Jerk, what is going on, man? What is going on? We got Just Jeff. Oh, wow, everybody. Look at who showed up tonight. Blake Tarpley. Damn, wow, mask off. So in members later, you're doing pants off. I don't know why I read out his chats completely. I should just stop right in the beginning before we even get to anything else. God damn it. Shout out to Blake, man. I'm glad you're here tonight. We always miss you when you're not around, man. So that is about that. We got the Mython mugs. Go check that out. Link, like I said, it's in the chat and it's also in the description, guys. Definitely go check that out. Order your damn mug. Fight against cancer. Tonight, we keeping it pretty light.
We do have a couple of members chats if you want to go through them before you even start on the topic.
Thank you. Yeah, because if I get wrapped up in a topic for too long, give me 1 second. Mython said, what up, Ninja and the Find My Figure ladies? What up to everyone in the chat? I hope you're all having a great night. I know I am. Chilling at home with Bev and the pups. That sounds like such a peaceful and relaxing time. Like I said, I'm glad that you're not at work. We hate when you're driving trying to multitask. That shit is dangerous. So yeah, shout out to Mython, man. I'm glad you're here tonight. What else we got? Argo, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing okay, man. Sci-Fi George became a channel member, man. Thank you for becoming a channel member. I appreciate it. Make sure that you stay for, oh man, Sci-Fi George, make sure that you stay for the private live if you can, or just catch the replay, because the private live is where we're gonna show off some really X-rated figures. And I just want to have a topic. We're gonna lightly touch on a topic tonight regarding where the direction that female figures are going into, but I can't really show them off the way I can in a private chat, but we'll still lightly speak on it publicly. But Cosmic Gladiator, man, thank you so much. Gifted 5 Articulated Ninjas memberships, man. Thank you so damn much, man. And I believe this is everybody that got a membership: Not Top Goon, Artificial Intelligence, Ravenous Collecting, Robert's Infinite Realms, and Ted Darkclaw. So you guys make sure, all names that I recognize. So you guys make sure that you check out the private live, because it's going to get a little bit reckless. 1 second. Just Jeff in the house, man. Much love, brother. What is going on, man? I hope you're all right. Shout out to Just Jeff. Who else we got? Roll Keeper in the building. Hold up. Roll Keeper in the building, man. I hope you're doing okay. Hello, everyone. Go buy a mug. Yes, he's 100% right. What's up, everybody? Go buy a damn mug. Fight against cancer, and you look good while you sipping whatever you sipping on. Shout out to Roll Keeper. Nathan with a super chat, man. Thank you for the $5. What are your thoughts on Hasbro or third-party Transformers like Mastermind Creations, Trans Art, or Toy Easy Metal Soul series? And will you do a review of them? So the only Transformers that I have are by 3-0. I don't necessarily need my Transformers to transform. I think it's cool when they do, but I don't necessarily need them to. The only ones that I have are by 3-0. I don't have any of Hasbro's Transformers, and I see some nice third-party ones out there, but a lot of times they're just kind of pricey. They look really nice, especially the Beast Wars ones. But currently, right now, I don't have any up on the channel because I am waiting for 3-0 to really give us either Beast Wars Transformers or the most recent Transformers movie. They basically had the Beast Wars versions. I think they only dropped Optimus up until now, but I don't have any. The YOLO Park ones look really, really nice. I like those. They look really nice, but once again, they don't transform. So it's not that I don't like them. It's just I normally don't have the time, and in my mind, I would have to buy 2. One to have in one mode and then another to have in another mode, and I don't want to do that. My wallet can't afford that, Nathan. It definitely can't. So that's why I don't have them on the channel. But it's not like I don't like them. I definitely do. I like them a lot. You also said, but thank you for that super chat, man. I appreciate it a lot. Give me 1 second. Let me see. And you also said, Mcfarlane, can you please listen to the customers and make better figures with better articulation and quality control and make them 6-inch? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see that happening. I don't know if guys in the chat, let me know if you think any of that's gonna happen. I don't think Mcfarlane's ever really gonna go to 6-inch. I think the closest thing we get to it is when he does the DC Direct collabs. I think that's the closest thing. But as far as him making Spawn figures 6-inch and majority of the IPs he does, I really don't see it. And even if it happens, I think it'll happen like 10 years from now, because it took the guy like 20 years to realize people actually wanted articulation in their action figures. So it's probably going to take him a really, really long time, man. Shout out to Nathan, man. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate it. I think we're all caught up. Let me know if we're all caught up, babe. I think so. You're muted. I don't know if you know.
We have one more post that says, from DC Multiverse Collector West Coast, I have love for Mcfarlane. It's my main and favorite toy line, but that Kickstarter spawn is a pass for me. The COD spawns are fire. Hello.
I see a lot of people saying, I see people liking the COD spawns more than the actual
fire.
Kickstarter.
Those COD
they look
spawns
nice.
Are
they look nice.
Fire.
They look nice. I like the fact that they actually did include him with a fabric cape. You guys know I don't really care much for fabric, but like I said, if you're gonna kickstart something, I mean, the least they could have did was give the medieval spawn some type of fabric cape, but they didn't. But the COD ones do look really, really nice, man. Shout out to Collectors West Coast, man. Thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate you. Make sure you stay for that private chat, man. Is that everything? I think it is.
Yeah, that's everything for now.
Okay, so the first topic that we'll get into before we talk about anything else is just the Mcfarlane stuff. Let's see. So let me bring this over here. So we got a few funny ass comments when it comes to the Mcfarlane stuff, and just talking about some of the comments. And I like Mcfarlane. I actually do like Mcfarlane. I have quite a few Spawn action figures, and actually I'm not proud of it, but I backed that first Spawn Kickstarter, and I backed it because it was supposed to be like the introduction to show like there's a want for actual articulated Spawn Kickstarters. And as that first Kickstarter went on, it changed so damn much. The torso changed. He originally had torso articulation. I don't know if you guys know, but then they took the torso articulation out, and it just started to look more and more like a pre-posed figure. When everything was all said and done, I already paid for it, and I never opened it. It's still brand new in the box, and I'm just letting it sit for a good day or a good reason, to be honest. But I was so disappointed with the final result of that I had buyer's regret, and I regretted backing that first Kickstarter. But I love Spawn so much that's what made me do it. And it was basically the first time we was gonna get a highly articulated Spawn with details and, you know, metal on the figure, and I was really excited for that thing, man. But so much changed as the Kickstarter went on, and there's nothing that anybody could do about it, because they're allowed to make those changes. But I'm a Mcfarlane fan. I said all that to say that I really do like Mcfarlane. But some of these guys, they had some, I just want to bring up some interesting comments that maybe I find funny, or some comments where it's like, these Mcfarlane lovers definitely did make me laugh. But the first one right here is by Baldwin 2299. He said, ladies and gentlemen, if this is the future of collecting via crowdfunding, then collectors are screwed. And I don't think in my video that I focused on that enough. And it was like, I do think that we're headed towards a point, especially over on the Mcfarlane side. You guys see he's crowdfunding one figure, but I definitely do think over on the Mcfarlane side that we are headed towards just crowdfunded stuff. No really more pre-orders. And I'm not saying anytime soon. I'm just saying every time there's a Kickstarter and every time something like this is successful, it changes the landscape. Now, it might not change the landscape greatly. It might change the landscape just a little bit, but after a while, the little bits and the little bits, they add up. And I think it's just moving us in a direction where there's just everything is crowdfunded. I seen some people posting, I think Nerdzoic, I got nothing but love for Nerdzoic. He posted that he believed, you know, HasLabs may be done, or, you know, at least on the Marvel side. And I don't agree. Like, I don't really believe that. I think HasLabs in general are too profitable for Hasbro for them to abandon that business model now, something that should have probably never been a business model for them. But I think it's too profitable. I don't think that they're going to abandon it, especially in terms of G.I. Joe Classified. But if we're talking about HasLabs for Marvel, maybe they'll take a small break, but I think that they'll come back with something really big, like a Fin Fang Foom or something like that. But I still don't even believe Marvel is going to completely abandon HasLabs. Like I said, I think it's just way too profitable for Hasbro. But I thought this comment was funny, man. One of the few comments that definitely saw the point that I was trying to speak on, because a lot of the other comments look similar to this. This guy Ant G, he said, exactly, I commented on here somewhere with the price breakdown. All in all, it's not a ripoff. And like I said, I don't think it's a ripoff neither, but he said we would obviously be getting all the accessories. The packaging, shipping are what make it expensive. $58 for a deluxe figure with like 20 accessories isn't too bad. I think he made the mistake of revealing all the accessories ahead of time for people that don't realize that they'll all be included. Makes the unlock seem lame. He just needs to say next video, you're getting all of this and there's no more unlocks. Now I'm confused. I'm going to bring up a few more comments, but I base my video off the premise of at 100K, you only unlock the figure. So there's a lot of people like this in the comments saying, well, we were going to get all the accessories regardless as soon as the figure unlocked anyway. And to my understanding, that's not true. So if the figure only would have made it to 500K or a million, based on what his first one did, like Laser Pants kept saying, like he knows, Mcfarlane knew it was going to blow past 100K super quick. But there's so many people in the comments saying, oh no, as long as it would have funded, we would get everything. I don't know if I'm missing something, but that's not true. Because if this thing would have stopped at 500K or a million, wouldn't that be accessories that we're missing out on? Because we unlock accessories in this campaign every 250K or whatever number he wants to make up. But those 14 accessories, they're all unlocks. So maybe I'm tripping, but I'm pretty sure that math doesn't math much. There's so many people in the comments saying, oh, we were always gonna get them all. We weren't always going to get them all. And that's why he was really selective with the words that he chose. Because in some weird universe where this thing only would have made 150K, we know that that's not going to happen. But if it would have stopped at 150K, I don't think we would be getting all 14 accessories. But maybe I'm tripping. Hands, and hands. Yeah, I don't even think we would have got the hands. If this thing would have stopped at 100K or 150K, well, we would have got the hands. So. But I think all we get is the hands in the sheath if this would have stopped at 150K. But just some interesting comments in general. This one's long. I'm not even gonna go reading through all this shit. It's just, this is extra long. But he started off by saying that he felt like some of my arguments were disingenuous. All of these comments are on my video, plus a ton more. I only picked out some ones that I thought that were interesting. But he said he felt like a lot of the arguments that I presented were disingenuous, and all of the accessories will be included with the figure. Unlocking them is just a tactic that's used to drive engagement. Here we go once again. It's not just a tactic when there's goals that you have to meet. Now, it doesn't matter what the goals are. It doesn't matter if he would have did every 250K or every 50K. It doesn't matter. You needed to reach these goals to unlock the figure. So I'm not sure if I'm missing something or these guys are missing something, but there's so many people just saying, oh, it was just a tactic. It was a tactic to drive engagement. It was a tactic to, even if I go along with it, you know, I love to play devil's advocate. Even if I go along with that logic, why does Mcfarlane, one of the biggest toy companies in America, why does he need to use these tactics? And more importantly, why do people make excuses when he does so? I think that's why every time there's something like this that happens, I see us inching a little bit closer to everything being crowdfunded by these major companies. I don't think there's anything wrong with crowdfunding from smaller companies. And speaking of smaller companies, I want to talk about Brutal Realms real quick, because Brutal Realm to me is a company that they're using crowdfunding in general in the right way. They're a new company and they're crowdfunding for their project. Like, that makes sense to me. Like, these guys are not, I can't even say they're not Hasbro. That's obvious. That goes without say, but these guys are nowhere. They're in the beginning stages of everything. This is, in my mind at least, and I believe by definition, this is what crowdfunding was intended for. Companies like this. And it looks like they have some amazing stuff on the way. Of course, you guys know I'm excited for the Athena figure, but this is crowdfunding to me should only be done by startup companies like this. Anything more than this, if even if you're not one of the biggest, I'm okay with like companies like Mythic Legions and stuff. If they're gonna crowdfund, make it big. I keep saying all the time, it's the year of the dragon. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a dragon from Mythic Legions this year. If they want to crowdfund this dragon, in my mind, depending on the size of it, it won't be the end of the world. But do I honestly think they need to? No, absolutely not, especially with how long their pre-orders take. But my point in general being that I don't know where so many people got the notion that it's just a tactic that's being used. It's not a tactic when there's certain goals that have to be met. And for Mcfarlane, there was definitely certain goals that needed to be met. 1 second. So like I said, this one's a little bit too long, but it's up there. You guys could go check it out. But the fact that I was accused of being disingenuous because they were just tactics that he's using to drive engagement, I think that's humorous to me. Like I said, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but everything was not included at 100K. If everything was included at 100K, or let's say if everything just needed to get to the first 250 to get all 14 accessories, then I'd understand. But that's not the way it was worded. That's not the way it's presented. That's not even what's still happening. He's still posting videos showing off another set of, whatever, a sheath or the left hand. There were so many funny ass comments, guys. Oh man. Let me see something. So this one, you already know this is about to be some bullshit because the person's name is Mcfarlane Dragon Clan. So when you dedicate it to Mcfarlane enough to have it as your damn name, you guys already know it's about to be some shit. He said, who cares? It's badass. It's a dream figure. And Medieval Spawn was my very first Spawn figure in the mid-90s. If you don't know nothing about Spawn, then don't buy it. It's the coolest and most detailed figure he has ever done. It's got 32 points of articulation, and it's not a regular release. You're just salty. Guys, there were so many comments like this. And I'm saying to myself, I felt like I was kind of like on an Xbox, and I'm like, are these like 10-year-olds? But then I would go to the YouTube page, right? And I would see how long they had a YouTube account for, because once you click it, it shows you, oh, been a YouTube member or on YouTube for X amount of years. And it'd say like 10, 15 years. I'm like, there's no way this is a kid. So these are adults. These are adults with this type of logic, and it's scary. It's scary to me because these are the people that vote. Like this is this is voting logic. This is who we have to share the planet with. Now, someone more reasonable commented underneath them. Shout out to Mirage. They said there are figures that have been around 32 articulation or more, so that really isn't saying much. You like the character, cool, but we aren't going to act like hands and a sheath is goal worthy with other accessories being a maybe. I love the fact when, like, I don't need to reply, someone logical comes into the comments and replies for me. But everybody says, oh, well, why do you have a problem with crowdfunding? And it's not so much crowdfunding. It's crowdfunding when it's done by the biggest companies in the world. That's when I have a problem with it. But I think the more disappointing or the more sad thing is when there's collectors that defend the biggest companies in the world. And I say all the time, guys, these companies don't give a shit about you. They don't. If you're a content creator, they will use you just like a tool. And if you're just a collector or a consumer and they see you just as that, just a regular consumer, a number, a statistic, they could care less. So to this guy, I guess I was just salty. But he said, if you don't know nothing about Spawn. Now, I said in that video, very similar to him, that Medieval Spawn was also my first Spawn action figure. So this is where I said people get so caught up in nostalgia that they bend over without even realizing. Like, that nostalgia means that much to them. Just like this guy, I said, hey, it was my first one too. I absolutely loved it. It was my favorite as a kid. I like the Medieval Spawn design more than the regular Spawn design. But that still wasn't going to make me blind. My love for an IP or whatever, it's not going to make me blind to the fact that this shit is messed up. Like, it definitely should not be happening. So I thought that this was interesting, but guys, there's tons of comments like this. If you ever want to entertain yourself, just go through my comments section. Seriously, just go through the comments and you guys will find some very, very entertaining comments. Let me take a break real quick and go to some of the star chats.
Yeah,
What's
we have quite a
happening?
few star chats going on. I mean, based off of everything that you were saying, the consensus is everyone pretty much agrees with you. So we'll go through some of those comments, but we'll see. Here we have Ghost Tab. He said, I liked your argument in your previous video. Mcfarlane Kickstarter was done backwards. He did the figure first batch and now he wants people to pay. I don't care for the bonuses that much. I ain't backing it.
So, yeah, I can't tell if he said he is backing it or he's not backing it, but thank you, Ghost. I appreciate that. Mcfarlane Kickstarter was done backwards. I don't think it should have been done at all, but definitely, if it was going to be done, I would say also, yeah, it was done backwards. Definitely, man. Shout out to Ghost, man. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Chris Complain says, just for the record, the medieval spawn is already tooled and is expected to be delivered around Christmas. So this one is more of a pre-order.
I can understand that one. But like I said, and even if I go along with that logic and I say, okay, it's already pre-ordered, just like a lot of the accessories, they're already pre-ordered. So what's the point in this being a Kickstarter to begin with? What's the point in it? I think personally, it was for specific reasons. The first reason being that I think Mcfarlane wanted to say he had the fastest funded Kickstarter, which to me that's super disingenuous because he knew how fast it was going to hit 100K. Guys, that is equivalent to Bobby Vala crowdfunding something and making the goal $20. Do you know how fast he's going to beat Mcfarlane's record? He's going to have the fastest funded Kickstarter in the toy space. That to me, that's one of the reasons why, and this is just my opinion, my assumption, that's one of the reasons why Mcfarlane did it. But even if I go with that, because there's been multiple interviews where he says, oh, well, we already started tooling and we're going to try to get it out faster than anyone else or than we've ever done before. Cool. If you've already paid for everything for the most part, why have it be a Kickstarter? Why not just make it a pre-order? But I get where you're coming from, Chris, but it should have just been a pre-order then.
Yeah, and Suka says, last time I checked, Kickstarter wasn't for winning awards. It was for kickstarting a product or a company.
We shouldn't don't bring up Suka's comments no more because Suka's too logical and he's sarcastic too, so he mixes like logic with sarcasm, but he's always going to be right. Yeah, Suka, you're 100% right, man. 100% right.
Blake says, hey, a sheath is better than some stickers, am I right?
I guess, you know, I have to stand on what I said. I said the patches are bad. The stickers or patches are bad because they don't even associate with the product. I guess a sheath does associate with the product. It is, you know, it works with the product. So I guess, yeah, it's not as bad, man. Leave it to Blake to, you know, look on the brighter side of things.
And Blake also says, yeah, action figures for adults in the future, if not profitable for big chains, will be niche and crowdfunded a la carte. Online retailers will even disappear if it becomes less and less profitable.
You know, that's a very interesting thing. Because like I said, I love Nerdzoic. Great guy, nice guy, but he's an online retailer or e-tailer, whatever you want to call it. And he released a video recently saying, you know, he doesn't care to talk about, you know, big companies crowdfunding because it's in his mind, it's like it's not a big deal. It's, you know, there's so many other things going on in the world, and I can address that, and I agree with him to a certain extent. But I do think, especially for someone like him, it is something to be worried about, because once Hasbro Pulse starts to do direct to consumer pre-orders or crowdfunding, it cuts everybody else out. So I think Blake definitely brings up something very, very big and major. And I think you got to be one of the biggest, maybe Big Bad Toy Store. You got to be that level of big to be able to cut a deal with them, work with them, or to survive something like that. Because I think a lot of smaller online retailers, they will not survive once. Imagine if Hasbro Pulse really got their shit together, guys. Imagine if when you paid for your Hasbro Pulse membership, you got everything first, there were no caps on the quantities, and you got it shipped to you before all these other places shipped. Who would honestly order their G.I. Joe classified figures from anywhere else? Who would go to Hella Dope? Who would go to Nerdzoic? Who would go to Big Bad? Nobody. A lot of people wouldn't, because Hasbro would be the best source for these things. So we watched it happen with actual brick and mortar stores, how they got cut out just because of online sales. But now I think it's like Blake said, it's even starting to happen. It's even starting to happen when it comes to online competition as well. The companies first they pushed out brick and mortar for the most part, put them on the back burner. But I see these companies, whether they're crowdfunding or direct to consumer pre-orders, they are slowly pushing out all forms of losses or competition. Or to me personally, that's just what I think. I think they're slowly pushing out everyone else just to increase their margins on whatever it is. As long as it makes money, it makes sense. But I think Blake is 100% right here, man. Good shit, Blake.
Eye of the Watcher says, I agree with you. As you would think, he would not have to use such marketing tactics. I just laughed when he said one of the goals was hands.
Yo, a lot of people, I think a lot of logical people laughed. People that wasn't all caught up in nostalgia, like that guy I brought up. If you weren't like blinded by nostalgia, I think any reasonable person had to take a step back and be like, what's going on here? Like, what's really happening here? Yeah, but I think I the whole thing is laughable. The whole thing is laughable, man. Shout out to you, Eye of Watcher. Thanks for sharing, man.
Silly Pole Play says, I remember when Todd saying, I don't want your money, I have lots of money.
Yeah, I remember him saying that specifically too. I should have found that clip. Honestly, I should have found that clip. Maybe if I do another video, I'll insert that clip in there, because wow, I think for him, honestly, and I like Mcfarlane. I like what Mcfarlane's done for the industry. I don't like when he does shitty stuff like this. But in general, it's not like I dislike the guy. I actually got a lot of respect for him in a lot of areas. Especially when I was growing up, Spawn was the first to me. Spawn is, maybe not anymore, but at the time, Spawn was the biggest black character that I've ever seen. Like, as far as numbers, I think he's the longest running comic book series, and Spawn is that guy. AKA, what's his name? I can't even remember his name. I can't even remember Spawn's. Well, the modern day Spawn. I can't even remember his actual name right now. But to me, he's that guy. And I love what Mcfarlane did in the industry. I love that he went his own way, did his own thing. But that's not always a positive thing. Like him doing 7-inch figures plus, like sometimes being different could also be a downfall. But I love that there's so many things that I do like about Mcfarlane. But him, I think, always thinking that the way he thinks is the way things has to be, or the way he thinks is the best way for things to be done. I think that's also his downfall, man. Even if you watch him in interviews. What happened?
They're saying Al Simmons.
Al Simmons, my bad. Yep, Al Simmons, Wanda. And Wanda, his wife, was one of the first black, or let's say melanated women that I seen on screen. And the way they drew her, the way they dressed her, how feminine she spoke, I was like, oh my God, like she was one of the first and the baddest. And then of course we had Eliza Maza, who was Hispanic from Gargoyles. But Wanda and Eliza Maza, they were my top. They were up there when I was a kid, man. What else we got? Thank you for sharing, Silly.
Says Todd said in his interview for the Kickstarter, his goal is to make the record of the fastest Kickstarter toy. Data is used to show retailers. Same for first Kickstarter was to show retailer his property sells, his words.
Data is used to show retailers. Same for the first Kickstarter was to show retailers his property sells. I remember him saying, similar. You're 100% right. But like I said, when you're doing something like this, the first one was more understandable. He even got me to back the first one. But that was more understandable because there wasn't a market yet. We've had Spawn figures on Target and Game Shop and Walmart shelves for how long? So to me, the fact that it's still being done, it has to be for more reasons that aren't positive. They're negative. Greed, profit margins, things like that. Pride, ego. Oh, I want to be the first. I want to be the fastest. I want to be... How in general is this helping the customer? Now, if this was a pre-order, that'd be something totally different. But like I said, even in the world of pre-orders, like Blake brought up, it's still a concern because I'm worried that a lot of the smaller online retailers, they're not going to be able to survive once these companies really start to just go direct to consumer and they become reliable. Hasbro Pulse is not reliable like that. But once they actually do, I think that's going to be a big game changer. And little things like this in a community happening, and everybody bending over backwards and saying, "Oh, Articulated Ninja is just salty." That's not what it is. It's not that I'm salty. Like, I'm pretty sweet. I'm a pretty sweet guy. I'm not salty. It's sad because I feel like a lot of people that are so caught up in nostalgia, they don't see the writing on the wall at all. But yeah, I agree with you, Tav.
3D articulated figure photography says, I think they just get mad with you, Ninja, after you show them that they got played. Instead of getting mad with Mcfarlane, you're the easier target because they're stuck now with no receipts.
I think that's a possibility, man. I think that's definitely true. And I think even if it's not get mad at Mcfarlane, what usually has to happen is you got to take self-accountability. I talk about that in my Keep It Real series, and it meant so much to me that, Mython put out on Front Street how much my Keep It Real series mattered to him, especially at a specific time with my first one. But a lot of my Keep It Real series is about accountability. Yes, certain things suck. Yes, we all get taken advantage of in certain ways, but we got to be accountable the fact that we also participated. So even if they don't want to blame Mcfarlane, I don't necessarily blame Mcfarlane because he's doing what a businessman does, and he's just worried about his max profit margins, and that's expected. But I think a lot of these people, maybe it's easier for them to target me because that would require them to look in the mirror and say, damn, I got. And some people don't want to say that. They want to feel like they're always right. Thank you. Oh man, you guys are funny, man. We're also very salty. Human body. Yo, this man with these facts. Yo, Jeff, Ninja is the saltiest pretzel ever. You're right, man. Anybody else like mustard on their pretzels? I love mustard on my pretzels. Especially in person. Ninja and the ladies are the best. Thank you so much, Benny.
Thanks, guys. I just want to take a moment and show them all the love that they were trying to show you in the chat, babe.
I appreciate that thing because I don't get to see it. Yeah, I'm too late. I'd be catching on to shit way too late. But yeah, I think it's easier for people to, if they hold Mcfarlane accountable, they also have to hold themselves accountable. So they will do anything to redirect and move the goalpost so they don't have to feel like, hey, I was dumb enough that I got. But to me, it's not about anybody being dumb enough. I got how many times? I just said I participated in the first one, but I thought the goal of the first one was just to show that Spawn figures are wanted. Get the Spawn figures out and get this damn movie out that's been in production for 20 years. Like, we want Spawn. I thought that's what the first one partially represented, and that's why I participated in it. But people don't like to take accountability, man. So they just point fingers. So, like you said, maybe that's why it's easier for them to point fingers at me. I don't know.
Scott says, I'm gonna do a Kickstarter for a bicycle. If it gets 500K, you'll unlock the handlebars.
Yo, I've seen so many like, hey, somebody commented and they said, Valor's next product is gonna be a Kickstarter and you gotta unlock the limbs. You gotta unlock the limbs for the action figure. Like, there's so many shit. Like, it's funny, man. I love the fun that people are having with this. Like, that's what I really want. I just wanted people to have fun with the stupidity, man, because I agree with Nerd Zoic and some of these other creators. Like, yeah, there's 10 times worse to be worried about in the world, but this is a toy channel. So when I hear Nerd Zoic and other creators say, oh, crowdfunding is not a big deal, plus, there's cancer, there's this, there's that. Yeah, but this is a toy channel, buddy. Like, why do you want me to talk about Big Pharma? Do you want me to talk about 9/11 conspiracies? This is a toy channel. So of course I'm talking about crowdfunding and shitty business practices within the toy space. This is a toy channel. It does not mean that there's not 10 times more serious things happening, but people are coming here for toy related content. I don't think many people are coming here to, watch a commercial on shoe soles or something like that. Like, no. So it's funny when I watch content creators try to redirect the conversation and make it seem like it's not an important one, but it is. It's a conversation within a toy space.
Samuel Edwards with the member chat for 10 months says, love for the home team.
Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much, man. He's one of the old school ones. 10 months. God damn. Thank you, man. It's a Canaan in the building too.
It says hashtag AFC and Fuzz Size Ninja Clan represent. What up, baby?
Right. One of the biggest, most muscular guys is talking about fun size represent. Okay.
And guess what we got, babe? $6.66 towards Wawa.
For those that don't know, Zakanan's thing is like $6 and said like I see him do it on the 3P away almost every channel. It's a Zakanan thing. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so damn much. Thank you for the super chat, Kanan.
Extra snacks tonight. I'm picking up something extra because Jeff said with $5 looks back over his shoulder, looks back forward and whispers,
guys,
per Wawa.
Guys,
hell yeah.
See, Jeff, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. You see how I was saying I'm happy that Mython's home and he's not working and he's not out running the streets this late? You guys shouldn't promote her leaving the house this late. You know what I'm saying? Like,
whoa, Suka $4.99. We got mad money for Wawa. Yo, babe, my bad. I know you got stuff that you're trying to talk about, but $4.99, pretend it's all right. Hand for a Mcfarlane figure, but it's really for Wawa. Let's go.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Suka, man. What else we got that I missed? Because I'm sure I missed a lot, man. Rocco the Great in the building, man. Another big content creator. I hope you're doing okay, Rocco. Eventually, we're going to collab or do something, man. We just got to... You seem busy. I'm busy. Like, we just got to figure out the schedules, man. But I hope you're all right, Rocco. Disavowed in the building. What is going on, man? I hope you're doing okay. I could hear his voice saying it too. That's exactly how he words it. What goes on all? Yeah. What's up, Disavowed? AKA the Hunt Master. Mython. You can read it. I don't want to mess it up.
It says, hopefully this time next year, we will have the Brutal Realms figure in hand. I got about half of their offerings.
When I look at their offerings, I honestly, I would want almost all of them. I saw today on Instagram that they extended it. Prices increased by like $1 or $2 or something like that. But is that true? Can anybody in the chat confirm that they extended it? That would be pretty cool if they did extend it, even if it is for, you know, a higher $1 or $2 price point. But I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to get those Brutal Realm figures too, man. I don't think, for whatever reason, maybe it's just because I'm always expecting the worst, but I don't think they're gonna make it by next year this time. I don't think it'll be that quick, but we'll see. Hopefully it does.
And Diesel Fit says, I love what Brutal Realms is doing. Super excited to see what they become and to get all the figures I backed.
See, I could say Diesel. I'm gonna always say Zell because it's Denzel. I love the Brutal. Yeah. What's up, Zell? I hope you're doing all right, man. I hope that maybe through fan feedback, because the female figures haven't even been tooled yet, but I hope that they give the females a little bit more chest, because it seemed like a lot of them didn't have chests like that. But I absolutely love the proportions on the females in general. I love how big, intimidating, and masculine and like strong they look, because to me that's how Amazonians should look. They shouldn't look like supermodels, and if they look like models, they got to be like weightlifting models. Like, but I'm excited, man. I'm definitely excited for those.
And then we have Daniel Craig said, to be honest, thanks to Wesley Snipes, I think Blade might be bigger. Most nominees don't know Spawn is a black dude.
That's
most
true.
Most normies.
That is true. That is definitely true, man. And just like Blade said, there was only one Blade, right? Where there's multiple versions of Spawn all throughout history. So, and not all of them have been black people, or, you know, so, but in general, especially in light of everything that's happening now after the Deadpool movie, Wesley Snipes is that guy, man. Definitely.
3D articulated figure said Diesel is a Brutal Realms figure without the stubby arms.
Yo, that was good. That was good. Zoe, you better come back at his ass, bro. Don't be letting him talk like that. You better come back at him, because he's right. You do look like one of those guys. Hey, Layla in the house, man. I love her picture too. Thank you so much, Layla. We love and appreciate you.
We have Silly Pole says, Mcfarlane products here in the Philippines are declining. Online stores are offered very small quantities. Distributors have cut down Mcfarlane products. Todd might might did it to show his items still sell.
Distributors have cut down Mcfarlane products. Maybe. I think that is another possibility. Anything to me that seems logical and reasonable is going to be in the realm of possibilities. And if that is the case, I think that is definitely in the realm of possible. It does seem like something that he would do to prove a point, or to make a point, I should say. But yeah, it definitely seems like that is possible.
And we have a super chat here. Thank you so much from Banquet of the Leviathan for $13.31. He says, do you think we will get our Storm Morrigan by Halloween?
First of all, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Appreciate that a lot. And get our Storm Morrigans by Halloween. I don't know, to be honest. I would like to hope so, but with the way everything's going, it's unlikely, but I'm hoping that we do. For those that don't know, maybe I'm confused, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about the Storm collectibles from the fighting franchise. There's a female named the Morgan, and she has like the little bat ears. She was in one of the classic arcade fighters, but I hope that we do get her. And by we, I mean Big Bad, because Big Bad is usually one of the first places, unless you go to Evil Bay. I would say just continue to check eBay first, because eBay will let you know if you're putting it in the search bar. It'll let you know what Big Bad is going to be getting within the next week or two. So when it comes to import figures, what I do is I just go straight to eBay, and I have like a list of 10 figures that I'm consistently checking for, let's say every few months. And if they start to pop up in some of these other places around the world, then I know Big Bad is probably about to get their shipment when it comes to Storm collectibles. Because I think, isn't Big Bad like one of the exclusive US retailer for Storm collectibles? And that might be why they get them so fast. But thank you, man. Thank you, Banquet, for the super chat. I appreciate the support, man.
We also have a new channel member, Ryan. Hey. Thank you.
Hey, I like that name, man. Thank you for joining the Ninja Clan, and make sure that you stay for the private live. It starts like 10 minutes after this one ends, or just catch the replay to it, man, because you have access to that plus tons of other private videos and content in general. But thank you for joining the channel. I appreciate that.
And then last one for now, we have Jonathan B saying, hey, Ninja Crew, I just wanted to let you know to never stop doing the Keep It Real series. Mental health checks are important. I appreciate that, man, because it was cool. Mython brought that up while he was on the Hella Dope series. Them shits don't help. They don't help in the algorithm. For anybody that has a YouTube channel, what helps in the algorithm is consistent and the same. So, for example, guys, if I post an action figure review, but then I do a talk about self-deletion, they're so far apart from each other that the algorithm doesn't push it. And depending on what you talk about or how you talk, that's less incentive for the algorithm to push it, because you might get flagged for certain things depending on what you say. So we use the term like self-delete and things like that may not be as triggering as some other words. But the videos, they don't help my channel in the obvious ways. They help my channel in like underlining ways that matter to me. And in the beginning, before anybody was really telling me like, hey, I love the Keep It Real series, it was really just me feeling like, hey, if I have some type of platform, I don't want to be just talking about toys, or I don't want to be, when I go into some toy groups on Facebook and they're talking about, you know, a member that self-deleted last night or a week ago, or I'm like, it's great, I'm another toy reviewer reviewing these action figures, but what else can I do outside of make someone feel happy about an action figure? So in the beginning, it was solely for me to know that, hey, I'm trying to do my part, I'm trying to do something rather than nothing. But then over time, with so many people coming to me and telling me like, hey, like they love the series, like you, Jonathan, thank you, man. It changed the meaning of the series for me. Like it made me look at it as more of a necessity, where before it was kind of like, hey, you know, if sometimes over time things add up on my heart and I just need to talk about it, where it became more of a necessity, like, oh shit, like this actually is helpful. So thank you for saying that it's helpful, Mython, and everybody that says that, you know, they love the Keep It Real series, because there's not a lot of us that looks at it. And even if you look at my videos, the Keep It Real series gets some of the least amount of views, and I still run at least one ad on it so YouTube could push it a little bit, but they get the least amount of views because
These are really sensitive subjects, and that's not what people traditionally are coming to an action figure channel for. But you guys make it worth it, man. Thank you, Jonathan. Let's see what else we got. You said that was the last one, babe?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. Because there are give me 1 second. There are still some funny ones. Let me pull it up real quick. And some of them that I thought was comical. Yo, shout out to Chad, man. Chad, I loved what he did in making some of his most negative comments, inspirational quotes. That was so clever, man. Shout out to him for doing that. This one by Casey says, it's like he just makes it up as he goes. I think Mcfarlane makes a lot of stuff up as he goes because Mcfarlane feels like Mcfarlane knows best. So I think he wings a lot of shit, but he said it's like he makes it up as he goes. And as the money increases, he creates the accessories already shown from the beginning. And there's big nerds that will defend him no matter what the cost. 100%. I mean, if there wasn't people that would defend him no matter what the cost, I wouldn't even have had these funny ass comments to talk about, because people can just acknowledge, hey, I'm not saying Spawn is bad. I'm not saying crowdfunding is bad. I'm just saying when one of the biggest toy companies do it and they do it for bullshit like this, it sucks. Like, that's all I'm saying. But there's so many people defending it, man. And that's why I said in the video, I'm like, people just love getting bent over and like they say thank you, and it happens to all of us, and it's happened to all of us at different times, and where we've been taken advantage of by companies. And I get it, man, but it don't mean you got to make excuses or thank them for doing that. Like, and there's so many people that just thank them for doing it. This one's funny. He said, let me see, try to make it a little bit bigger for you guys. He said, you don't have to fund it. If people didn't want it, it wouldn't have reached the goal. It's actually a smart business move. The entire premise of this video is stupid. So my response was very similar, because I like to return people's energy, right? If you give me shitty energy, I give you shitty energy right back. He said, did I say it had to fund? Did I say that people didn't want it? The entire premise of your comment is stupid. And it's just, there's so many people like this, man. There's so many people that's like, well, what's the point of talking about it if you're not going to back it? And I talk about that logic all the time, where it's like, if you don't like something, stay quiet. And people get so upset when you don't stay quiet. So upset. And it's pretty sad. But it sucks, man. It sucks that things are at this point. Shout out to Not So Super Mario. He said, this shit is like $100 after shipping. Now that's something that I seen in the comments that I wasn't even aware of. I assumed, I was just ballparking numbers based off of the first one, because I participated in the first one. I was like, oh, this thing's probably gonna be like $80, 85. But I've seen some people even coming in at over 100. But there were so many people in the comments saying it's really not 58. It's like, it's with the packaging, with the shipping, with the tax, everything's gonna be like $100 or more. I would have doubled home on that, but I wasn't even aware of that. So shout out to Mario for bringing that up. I thought that shit was priceless. And one of the funniest comments on the video was by this random guy. He said, I read in the Wall Street Journal last week that the most expensive commodities today are bread, milk, and magnets. You heard it from me. Shout out to Blake, bro. He always comes through with the sarcasm, similar to Suka, but the fucking facts. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did read that it was bread, milk, and magnets. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And you would assume that that's the case with how hard Mcfarlane was pushing these goddamn magnets, man. Like, he act like he did something like brand new, amazing, and special. Maybe it was amazing in his line, but I mean, NECA has been using magnets for how long? I get the Predator series, and NECA has been using magnets in the Predator series for a while now, man. Like, it's nothing, it's not that crazy. Like, Mcfarlane, chill out, bro. You didn't reinvent the wheel. It's not that serious. I show import figures on my channel all the time that use magnets almost every single time. It's not that crazy, man. That was the last of the funny comments. I thought Blake deserved to go out as the last one because him saying that bread, milk, and magnets are up there. It got to be true. It got to be true based on his Kickstarter. So I'm not even gonna question it. You could let me know where we're at in the chat, man. Let me see.
Sorry, I'm here. Alex Rosado with the $50 super chat.
Good. I'm sorry. I cut you off. Go ahead, read it.
The KIRV do help. Please believe me. Even the Keep It Real videos do help. Please believe me. Even wife listens in and checks in on me.
Alex, thank you so much, man. I hope you, the missus, the kids, I hope all you guys are okay. Thank you so much for showing that much love, man. I appreciate that shit. Thank you.
I hope y'all know, without fail, every time behind the screen, and then that Gumball song plays, he's dancing. He's bobbing his head. He's doing a little dance.
I love that song. I want to play it in the car. Like I'm gonna annoy you guys one day when we all in the car. Thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate that shit, man. Thank you so damn much. That shit helps so much. Thank you.
And then we have Super Alleluia for a $5 super chat. Says, I'm here for the Thicky figures. Let's go.
Facts. We're all here for those. We're about to speak on the Thicky figures right now. Not get into any X-rated talk. We'll save that for the private chat. But I still want to speak on it because I want to see what everybody's consensus is publicly in the public chat before we move into the private discussions. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
And then we have Razy Poo with a $5 super chat with no message. If there is a message that you comment, we'll pull it up for you. So thank you for that $5 super chat.
Yeah, thank you for just supporting Rosie. I appreciate that. Yeah, if he comments, you don't need to do another one. Just comment and they'll pull up your next comment, whatever it is, man. But thank you for supporting.
Then we have Black Tom Cruise Collection for a $4.99 super chat. Says, hi, my girl doesn't let me collect female figures. How do you overcome or address this issue? I have a sausage fest in my collection right now.
Okay, I would definitely say if she doesn't like to let you collect female figures, don't let her see the female figures. What happened?
I said send her our way.
Nah, I was gonna say don't let her see the female figures on my channel because they're not even regular female figures. But just in general, I just think just have a discussion. Do you know why? Like, have you ever asked her why? And depending on what she says, you can also present it like, but you, especially as a male collector, I'm assuming that you're male, you don't want just a sausage fest on your shelves. Also, not to mention, there are a lot of females that deserve to be celebrated in action figure form, like Xena, like Wonder Woman. Of course, the bigger names, Catwoman, Wonder Woman, and these are more obvious females, but these are still badass females. And and my bad. And I understand, like, especially in today's day and age, like jealousy and things like that. But let's save the jealousy and stuff for the real women in the real world, because my ladies don't even like me leaving the basement, to be honest. But at least in the confinements of the home, and they're not worried about plastic. So I would say, man, just start off with a conversation. Ask her why is it that serious? Because there are a lot of females that are really, really badass. I mean, even if they're not superheroes, if you go back and watch the Spawn series, I really did like Wanda from Spawn. I liked his wife a lot. There's just so many badass females, and they also deserve to be on these shows with a lot of these male heroes too. We deserve to have female heroes on shows. So I would just say start it off with a simple conversation, bro. Just start it off and be like, why is it that you feel this way? And then whatever she presents as to why she feels that way, you can tell her how you feel. And basically, relationships are about compromising and trying to find some way to meet in the middle on both subjects. But that's just how I feel, bro. But thank you for the super chat, and thank you for supporting, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that question too. That was a deep one. Thank you, man.
Blake says, let her know that when we buy more female figures, more will be made, and that means more girls and women get represented.
True. That's a better way to word it. Blake worded it better than me. So definitely, yeah, that is true.
And then you have the other side, the devil side of your shoulders. You know, Blake is the little angel. Then you got Jeff
Right.
saying ninjas' female figures resemble the equivalent of an action figure strip club.
Right. Blake is wording things the nice way, and then Jeff comes in all rated R and shit. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you, man.
And then we have another new member, Degato.
Hey.
He became a channel member.
Facts. Thank you for joining the clan, man. Shout out to you. Make sure you stay for that private chat, man. We're gonna have some interesting combos and some pictures of action figures, not of real women. These are gonna be pictures of 1/12 scale action figures.
Then we have Spider Criminal in the house.
How old is this? I don't even know if he's still here anymore because it takes me a minute to get to shit.
It was a little bit ago. He could be possibly still in the chat, but it says, see, the minute they start talking like Mcfarlane's PR team is when they got to reevaluate their life.
True. Facts, man. And we want a video from you. Now, for those that don't know, Spider Criminal puts a lot of effort into his videos, so he doesn't drop them so often. He has a life. He has things going on. But, dude, we want a video from you. There was people that was commenting on my video that they want your take on this Mcfarlane situation, man. Nothing but love to Spider Criminal, man. Keep doing your thing. I love this guy's videos. He is definitely top 3 most entertaining YouTubers, for sure. For sure. When it comes to the toy space, especially Mcfarlane shit, this guy is entertaining, man. Shout out to Spider Criminal. Thank you for being here and showing love, man. I appreciate it.
Hold on one second. Blake just gifted 20 memberships. I can't even talk. I'm trying to get through them so that way I can show who it is. But thanks, Blake.
Take
20
your time.
membership chats.
Yeah, try to find.
Okay, I'll go off the name. I won't type them out, but I'll say them out when you're ready.
Okay, Blake, bro, thank you so damn much, man. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so
for
much.
These 20 in no particular order, hopefully I get them all. So thanks to Blake's membership chats, we have Slink, Prince Leo, 78 points of articulation, Spider Derp, House Hendo, Sunday Go, Peter Moline, Arthur R, Daniel B, Ayo Frankie. Hold on, I gotta scroll down some more. 1 second.
You're brave. I wouldn't even attempted it. I'm the substitute teacher that says everybody's name wrong in the classroom. So you're brave for attempting it.
Thank you. I got A1, The Sauce, James McWhorter, Gerard O'Connor, OG Dick Richards, Eric Livelong, and
wait. What was the last one? OG what?
OG Dick Richards.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm gonna keep going. Eric Livingood, and Stormfire Blizzard. Hold on, there's more. And Romo. I want to say Romo is the last person on there. So thank you.
That was
everybody.
a long ass list. Thanks to Blake.
20 people.
Yeah. I'm fucking stuttering and messing up. Blake, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that shit a lot, man. All you guys, make sure you check out the private content, catch the replay, or stick around for the private after this live show. Thank you so much, Blake. I appreciate that shit, man.
Rocco says this whole stream and chat is good vibes, refreshing in the toy community.
I appreciate that, man. I'm looking forward to finally meeting up because I'm pretty sure you're in Jersey, so I ain't that far away.
And then Scott says, at Rocco, Ninja's live streams are the most genuine and chill streams on YouTube.
Yeah, we try to keep it pretty chill over here. Unless there's like something big happening, like shitty Diaper Island or something like that, we keep it totally chill over here, man. Thank you, Scott, for letting him know.
And a little bit of a transition. We have to both like catch up with the chat, but 3D articulated figure photography says, who wins, Black Panther or the Predator?
I'm not trying to get nobody in the chat upset. This is for the chat to answer. But I mean, obviously, if Arnold and regular humans have been known to put up a decent fight against Predator, the Black Panther will probably wash him. But I also think it's dependent on what Predator, because some make history, some are legends, some are way stronger than other ones. So I think it depends. I think it's always, but I think on average in general, my money's on Black Panther, because like I said, regular people fight against this thing with weapons. And I loved in the Predators movie when the guy Hanzo when he challenged the Predator to a sword fight in the open grass plain. That was beautiful, man, because I always said to myself, like, I wouldn't be scared to fight a Predator as long as I could convince him to use the same weapon as me. So if I could just convince him to use his arm blade and I had a sword, I'm trying. I look at it like, yeah, I'm going out anyway. I'm gonna give my best before I go out. I guarantee that shit. But if I could convince him to put down the auto turn on his back, to not nuke me with a big ass bomb, if I could just convince him to pick up a blade, I'm going out, man. I'm definitely gonna try to scar him up to make him remember me. So to me, it's definitely an easy win for Black Panther.
Black Panther seems to be winning in the chat also. I was pulling them up while you were talking. It seems like Black Panther has won the community vote as well.
Yeah. Not that we don't love Predator, man, because I love the Predator franchise. It's one of my favorites, honestly. 2010 Predator. Yeah. Was it the 2010 Predator where Hanzo had that sword fight? I know it was a while ago. We're over 10 years, approaching 15 years. Hey, Slade on Slade is in the building. Are we dealing with a seasoned Predator? If so, it is up in the air. That's what I'm saying. Some Predators, I used to read the comics, and I get on YouTube sometime and watch like the comic breakdowns and everything. There are some Predators in history that have been like super abnormal, especially some of the female ones. There was mainly not Macheko, but there was actual female Predators, and some of them are really, they have the trophies that they have, the types of things they've taken down. I think they could present a much better fight against Black Panther than a basic Predator. Predator and Black Panther, the winner is definitely the director and actors. That would be a dope movie. Facts. Duarte Studios coming in. Yeah, but you know, Marvel's gonna shit the bed with anything Marvel lately. Predator can't even win against Duke. Don't do that. Don't play the Predator like that. I love that guy, man. I'm gonna set up that fight with my figures right now. Nice one. Thanks for asking, man. Thanks for asking. That was a question from 3D Articulated Figure. Thank you for giving the chat something to talk about real quick. So the other topic that I have for tonight, I can't believe Blake did that, man. Thank you, Blake. The other topic that I have for tonight is just female figures in general. So I have some pictures, all PG-13 pictures. We're gonna save the X-rated ones for the private chat, but just looking at some of the female figures, we get comments, and I think Erica can attest to this too. There have been some comments. I've been thinking about making an entire dedicated video to it, but there have people even comment on her photos when all she's doing is showing off what the companies are showing off, and they'll be like, oh, it's weird that you're posting this, or it's weird that they're making this, or some people act really sensitive when it comes to these female figures and their size, their proportions, their femininity. Just a lot of they act really weird when it comes to female figures. Or they see my reviews and they're like, oh, and that's how I know they're not a subscriber, or they're not, you know, any type of, you know, associated with my content, basically, because they'll watch my videos, or they'll watch how much I praise these female action figures, and they'd be like, oh man, you got to get a girlfriend, you got to get a life, I'm like, dude, if you only knew.
And he has two.
Huh? What happened?
And you have two.
I know. I just laugh at it. I'm like, bro, if you only knew, whatever. But I also do understand. I understand how it could come off that way, or how it's a possibility. But I sit back and I'm like, but what is it about female figures that really gets under some people's skins, or makes them feel some type of way? I understand that a lot of them are sexualized, but how is the sexualization, especially of the femininity of the female figure, how is that any different than the exploitation of the masculinity of the male figures? I'm just curious. Like I said, I'm just talking with the chat. I think the only out of shape male figures, aside from very specific wrestlers, but for every wrestler that comes out with a 6-pack, 8-pack, or 12-pack, maybe there's one out of shape one. Maybe there's one with a belly. Maybe, but that is not the norm at all. On average, majority of male action figures all fit into this archetype of the stereotypical masculine hero male. They all have the ripped traps, the ripped shoulders, the ripped arms, the 6-pack, the small waist, all of them. And I think He-Man is one of the best examples of that. And even when I look at brutal realm, and I love these figures, man. I think they captured this shit beautifully. But when I sit back and I look at the male, and I'm like, no Diddy, that's a big looking guy. That's a big looking guy. But these guys that complain about female action figures, they never second guess or never look at this any type of way. Maybe it's their orientation. Maybe it's because it's associated with a female. They automatically have to imagine being with it or something sexual, or like they automatically have to go there. But for me, it's pretty simple. And if we're getting female action figures like this nowadays, which I love, shout out to Loose Collector. So Loose Collector, not fully X-rated either, but he does make some very voluptuous and curvy female action figures. But there has been people that have commented on these posts and been like, oh, it's weird that y'all showing this off, or it's weird that this is even being made. Why? What makes it so weird? Why is it such a sensitive area or topic? If the guys have to present and be masculine and have to be totally ripped and all strong, and why can the females not be the opposite of that? And the opposite of that would be to show off their femininity, would be to show off their curves, would be to show off how sensual and how elegant and how soft to the touch they could be. If the guys are supposed to be like this strong rock, what's the difference, or what's the big deal? I'm interested to see what some of you guys in the chat say, but I do like talking about Loose Collector. So I'm just using him as an example because he is one of the most mainstream at this point. But and I love Loose Collector's figures, but for the most part, a lot of the female figures that we were getting, they're all shaped the same. It's all like similar to the male figures. They were all shaped the same. You could see some basic comparisons here with some Mattel figures and older Marvel Legends figure. But for the most part, all the females were shaped the same. And we know in comics, it's not like that. You see Emma Frost in almost any comic. And her curves, everything on that woman is crazy. So to me, if it needs to be represented or as true to the source as possible. And what's wrong with it having a bigger chest or a bigger bottom or bigger thighs? Or nobody looks at the guy and say, oh, his chest is too big, his biceps are too big. Why is it such a problem when it comes to women? Like I said, if men have to represent that level of masculinity when it comes to being a hero on average, then women, they represent femininity. And what's wrong with them representing and being represented this way? Now, the easy argument is, well, the men aren't sexualized and the women are being sexualized. And okay, that's an easy argument. That's the easy way to go down. But at the end of the day, it's still the man having to conform or having to be in this small little bubble with a ceiling on top that says you cannot be a male hero if you're not shaped this way, or you don't look that way, or you don't present this way, you don't speak masculinity. Like, nobody looks at the Blob action figure from Legends, right? Nobody looks at the Blob and say, yeah, that's how Superman should look. It'll never happen. I'm sure in the multiverse, there's a version of Superman that looks like the Blob. I'm sure there is somewhere, right? But on average, it'll never happen. So if there's a standard that Superman has to meet, I think there needs to continue to be a standard that Wonder Woman has to meet. And nobody questions He-Man, who shows off. I mean, I think He-Man is wearing nothing but a little garment around his waist and some furry boots. We should be able to get the same thing for women too, especially with modern day women and femininity and all this equal rights. And okay, yeah, you're getting equal figures too. So if us men have to represent the hero and show off our masculinity, and it's okay for the men to have their shirt off, then a woman with her shirt off shouldn't be a problem either. Like, it shouldn't be a problem for women to show their body too, especially when it doesn't have to be sexualized. Like, there's a lot of times where I just look at it as her strength, especially when I see a smaller petite woman, let's say like Xena. She wasn't the smallest, right? But when I see a smaller petite woman be able to do things to try to keep up with the men, I think she deserves to be praised. I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not looking at her. Of course, I could be attracted to her and be like, oh, she's beautiful. But part of her being beautiful is her being a hero and like what she's capable of doing, because she's not like, not doing nothing. She's not the damsel in distress. No, she's the actual hero. But I think if some of these female characters were just a damsel in distress, and it's like, okay, well, it's just a damsel, it's only sexualized, I think that there's another talking point there or another topic there. But I don't think there's anything wrong. But this is just my views. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with mine or anything wrong with the other sides. So if you're someone that disagrees and you feel like, oh, a woman action figure should never show off her chest. Why? If male action figures almost always have to or have before in the past, and like I said, I get it. It's like, oh, well, you're sexualizing a thing, and it's not much different for the males, though, to be honest. And me, I'm speaking as a straight male and everything else. There is still a standard that I have for, in my mind, a preconceived bias of what a male hero should look like. I still have that. I might not be sexualizing a male, but I still might look at him and be like, damn, he looks strong. He looks powerful. We were laughing at Zell Fit earlier because he literally looks like one of the damn Brutal Realm action figures. But I don't think I'm looking at Zell and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to be with that guy. No, I'm looking at him and I'm like, damn, this guy looks strong. Damn, this guy looks powerful. Damn. It's the same exact thing for me when it comes to female action figures. But that's just some of my quick thoughts. And I was just using Loose Collector as like one of the examples, because I know, especially with this Quinn Lee, I know there's a lot of people that have a problem with this. And I'm like, of course, if you want to sexualize it, you can. I think she looks awesome. She looks beautiful. But to me, in my mind, I'm like, she could train like this too. If men train with no shirt on all the time, females could train with no shirt on all the time. Why not? So I think it looks cool. Zakane didn't get the fuck out of here with that. Oh man. But yeah, I think it should be equal, right? I think especially with modern day women, or modern day feminism, I should say, they only want equality when it's convenient for them. And I'm not convenient. It should just all be the same then. Everything should be the same. So simple, my first layer before we peel back the layers of the onion on the top surface for me, it's simple. If male action figures can come this way and nobody makes a big deal about it, female action figures should also come this way and nobody should make a big deal about it, because these females are just as capable as the males in these universes. That's it. It's that simple. I'm not saying in our universe there are clear physical differences between a male and a female, especially on average. And we have to look at the average. The minority does not make the rule. But in these universes like the Justice League, and we're talking about people with superpowers. If Superman did not exist, Wonder Woman could probably floor the entire team if she wanted to. So once you throw in superpowers, and it changes the power struggle, it changes everything. And I agree with you, Chino. I agree. I want more male figures with bigger builds. I want that shit too. Like, I just feel like we're stuck to the way that they tell us it has to be, and it has been for so long. So there can't be a male figure that's slightly out of shape. If he is, he's not a real hero. There can't be a female figure that shows a little bit more skin. If she is, she's not a hero. She's a this, she's a that. I'm so tired of basically these narratives that have been forced on us. And like I said, it just seems like some people that do comment on the Find My Figures page, and for the 95% are just positive laughs and loves. And I absolutely love that shit. I love it. But every once in a while, there is that person that wants to come in crying, acting like we're producing these figures, or they're upset that we're showing off a female with no chest. But then they have tons of males on their shelves. Like my boy said earlier, a sausage fest. They have tons of males on the shelves that are showing off no chest. Very strange, very strange. Let me get to, she started a lot of shit for me. I know I'm missing out on a lot. So babe, you could just let me know what's happening. My bad. That was just a quick rant on how I feel about it.
So a lot of the chat is just basically going off their ideas of female figures in general. But G says these female figures are still better than the female Marvel Legend figures that these people collect.
True. And the female Marvel, that's a really good point. And the female Marvel Legends figures that they actually all are forced to be within a standard that even takes away from the individuality of that female or the strengths of that female. Like I said, there's no reason why Rogue can't have certain curves, or why Emma Frost can't have certain curves, or why is Emma Frost on the same exact buck as, I don't know, Kitty Pryde. These are two very different females, two very different body types. Why are they forced to be on the same buck when that's their body types also represent either their powers, their personalities, their attributes and traits. It's just, but like I said, these people, they don't complain as long as it's vanilla. The second it's not vanilla and something of the norm, it's like everybody loses their mind. I always think of the Joker meme. It's like everybody loses their mind the second it doesn't conform to what they believe their norm is. It's sad.
And then Hellbjorn says, I'm glad we're finally starting to get a lot of reasonably priced and well-proportioned female figures now. I've been wanting to increase the harem for my Doctor Doom figure. LOL.
Right. Yeah. Bro, whatever you want them to be, bro. Like, I'm just glad that we have options, because prior to a lot of the stuff we're getting now, we never had no options. It was all females should be look this way, their waist should be this big, their chest should be this big, and their thighs and everything should be this same way. It was like a stereotypical surfer girl, just all across the board. There was never no need for any individuality, any type of curves, any unique positives that made them unique. There was never no space for it. So yeah, I love the fact that we're getting all these options. Shout out to you, Bjornum. Thank you for being a member, man.
And then Blake says, the more I think about what you just said, Ninja, if he only knew, quote unquote, I figured something out. You don't really fit any type of mold. The haters can put you in a box they can't figure out. Thank you, Blake.
Out. I appreciate that. Of course, someone that, you know, I've had so much personal time with during at the convention, just chilling with and talking with. Of course, he would see that and make that conclusion. But yeah, it's hard, man. You think I listen to nothing but hip hop, and then I start singing some Billy Joel or some shit to you in a car. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, it's hard to put me in a box, man. Shout out to you, Blake.
I think that Ninja has a good talking voice. His singing voice is really nice, too.
No, absolutely not. Saying. No, absolutely not.
And then we have Christine Mendoza saying, a nice figure is a nice figure. Love curves and muscles on my figures.
Facts. That's a perfect way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Christine. You summed it up really nice. Whether it's curves or it's muscles, it should all be okay. They all basically have to fit within a stereotype, a bias. It's all still fitting in one thing or the other. It should still all be okay.
And Zakanan says, they hate beautiful women in any medium these last several years. Comics, movies, TV, and toys.
I can't disagree with that, man. I can't disagree with that. Of course, that comes from a quote-unquote beautiful male, right? With the way he be working out and everything. Saying my eyes up here.
Right. G says again, this makes me glad, honestly, because we rarely had any scantily clad female figures back then, with the only major exception being the Revoltech Queensblade figure. Do you remember that the Revoltech Queensblade figure was the only curvy female?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And to me, and those figures, in their respective universes,
so tiny.
Yeah, they were super tiny, so they were like 5-inch figures, but they were thick, they were curvy, and in their respective universes, I'm pretty sure they were badass in some way, shape, or form, or capable. But for the most part, people only use them as like sexual objects, and I get it because of the accessories, what they came with. They look super nice. But I think different from the Queensblade figures, when we're talking about Wonder Woman or Chun-Li or these other variants, I'm like, these are just American universes for the most part, and these women are pretty badass. Who cares if she has her shirt off? That's only going to make her more beautiful than she already is. Nobody looks at Chun-Li fully clothed and say, oh yeah, I can't imagine what's under there. I have no idea what's under there. Majority of Chun-Li's outfits are fully clothed. Whether she has them on or she has it all, it doesn't change that we all still view her as a beautiful, strong female. So I definitely agree, G. 100%, man.
Darkest Cloister says, maybe women don't complain about naked man figures because they are not sexualized as the women are. If action figures actually looked like a woman's sexual fantasy, then they would look different.
True. I think a lot of the action figures do look like women's sexual fantasies. That's why like Thor and Chris Hemsworth, and they get casted as these roles, and then figures get made. And if you look at He-Man, if he gets casted as He-Man, he's going to be a figure with no shirt on. But in general, that kind of like Darkest Cloister, that kind of like switches lanes into another thing, which is, okay, well, then it's comparing, well, how much do women sexualize things versus how much do men sexualize things? And but for the most part, even when you look at a lot of male actors that get casted for these roles, 007, just name a movie where there's a lead male actor, he's the hero, chances are he's a model, chances are he's handsome, chances are, and that's driving women to the movie theaters to watch that. So in one breath, it's like, okay, well, why should she have a problem, or any woman in general should have a problem with me liking these female action figures? And I don't complain when we go to the movie theaters and she's seeing one of her top 5 favorite actors on screen, and he's a model. He got the role because he's handsome. Even the action star models like Jason Statham and this, that, and third. If Jason Statham looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, he would not get these roles. So it's still the equivalent, whether it's Gal Gadot or a male model or a male hero or a male lead, and it's still based off of their beauty or their masculinity or their femininity, but it's basically their looks. It's still always going to be based off of that. But I think when they see female action figures that look like this, and it's just, oh my God, it automatically has to be sexualized. And I'm like, I can't remember the last time I seen a male military movie where the male lead did not take off his shirt. It's like, you better take off your shirt as the male and give the women in the audience that got dragged there by their husbands to see some military flick, give them some eye candy. And it's everywhere, and this is the way it's always been. So I'm happy that I think that is a good point that you bring up, Darkest, but it leads into so many other discussions.
I can't find it in the chat, but somebody had brought up that Thor was even naked in the last movie that he was in.
Yeah. And I was really surprised. But then I said to myself, you know what? I shouldn't even be surprised, because this is what the women are showing up in the theaters for. Nobody's paying to see the Hunchback of Notre Dame hold Mjolnir, or no, like they want to see the peak of what they, in some shape or form, the peak of what a male or a female looks like. That's just what it is. It's looks.
We wanted to take a quick moment. Jake Boy's on his lunch break. He says, hey, what's up, Ninja Gang? Just got on lunch.
What's going on, man? I hope you're doing okay, man. I hope you're doing good. This man's always working. He's always working. He be doing the Mython shit, tuning in at work and shit. Shout out to Jack Boy, man. I appreciate that. Glad you're here, man.
Bev says, as a woman, I don't get twisted over female action figures.
As a woman, I mean, babe, you're on a live right now, but that's a really good. I love her picture too. I liked her cartoon picture.
I know, I need that.
I know. Thank you. You made me have to spend more money. Thank you so much. I gotta get
how awesome that onesie
is. Yeah, it is.
Looks like my backpack on Fortnite.
But I also say as a male, because I'm just one of these guys where I'm like, I don't live in a fantasy world where I'm like, oh, my wife or our girlfriend, or let's say my women, or I don't even like saying my women, because we all belong to each other. They're not my objects. They just don't belong to me. They belong to each other too. But I don't pretend that I'm the only male on the planet Earth that she or they can be attracted to. I don't live in that fantasy world. So I go to the movie theaters and I'm like, shit, I might not be sexually attracted to Idris Elba, but I can recognize a handsome guy when I see one. And I'm like, yo, he did amazing. And he looked like he was in great shape. That's why I see guys like Zelfit, Zakanan, all these guys in the chat that are in great. I'd be the first one to be like, damn, man, you're jacked. Damn, man, you're in great shape. And it's that you don't have to, but some guys are so sensitive. I feel like if they compliment another man, or they look at the man's physical attributes in some way, shape, or form, that makes them, swing that way, or that makes them sexual. No, it doesn't. But with what she's saying, I almost got thrown off there. How do you look as a female if you do? I don't think it's a good look for you as a female, because we're still just talking about plastic toys, little plastic toys. And if you're getting upset over little plastic toys, that might branch off into something bigger, or a bigger subject, or a bigger topic, or if even little plastic toys are triggering for you. Like I said, I'm the type of guy, I don't mind when, you know what I'm saying? Like, my girls have their 3 top favorite male actors that they love to see, Idris Elba being one of them. Imagine me, how does that reflect on me as a man if I'm feeling some type of way because he's the lead in the movie, and I'm like, oh, she better not be looking at him. That's not a good look for me. The same way as a woman, and Bev clearly understands this, like she knows too. How would that look upon her? What would that reflect on her if she had such a big issue with a little plastic toy? Is he allowed to go to the movies and watch Scarlett Johansson play as Black Widow? I'm just assuming if there's a problem with him collecting a little tiny toy, is he allowed to go to the movies and see that? Is he allowed to have a Wonder Woman poster? Because Gal Gadot wouldn't have been casted as Wonder Woman if she wasn't a model. I wanted Gina Carano personally. I felt like she had more of the big Amazonian build. I love Gina Carano. But no, they casted Gal Gadot because she's the skinny, petite, some curvy model. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many women. And would Blake Lively, I mean, granted, she's married, right? She's married to the guy, but these women get casted as these roles and these heroes and these female heroines and for their looks. And like, if you're gonna put on a big show about a little piece of plastic, it to me, it doesn't reflect well upon the person. And some people get it, but this isn't just about, I'm not just saying the women that do complain about it, there's something wrong with them. No, because I flip it to the males too. If you're gonna get upset because your woman loves He-Man and wants He-Man action figures, bro, that's not really a good look for you. Like, I don't think a secure person that's secure within themselves and secure within their relationship, I don't think that they would get so upset over a little piece of plastic. But hey, these are just my thoughts. I'm not saying I'm right or anyone else is wrong. This is just what works for me and my thoughts.
Christine Mendoza says, I'm not leaving my wife in a room.
Look, I didn't say nothing about leaving because I wouldn't ask a wife to leave her husband in a room with Scarlett Johansson dressed up as Black Widow. So I didn't say anything about leaving anybody in no rooms, bro. We talking about action figures or going to the movies and watching them on screen. But I mean, you should have the trust. Like I wouldn't stress it, to be honest. I just think when you bring when you bring so much value to your relationship or to your partner, I feel like there's not a lot for you to stress. And ultimately, we do want that security that no matter what scenario we are in or our partners is in, we don't have a lot to stress and worry about. Now, of course, there's always extremes, but I do think, like, I wouldn't be too worried about it, man. And you always have to have the outlook that you didn't lose them, they lost you. If they do mess up and do something, and my motto, I'm always like, well, it's not fun if, my wife isn't there and, Jasmine's not there. It's not fun if my family isn't there with me. So they could leave me in a room with any female they want to. Chances are I'm going to be texting and calling them that they need to come to the room and hang out with us. So, but that's just me.
Mython says that he got Bev to egg him on to make Cobra Trooper Thicky like Ninja did with the Cammy SH figure arts, Storm collectibles figures. She don't get upset about Thickies in my collection.
And that's awesome. That's awesome. I think that's how it should be. It's just action figures. It's not that serious, especially when, it's one thing. I think if you like figures that maybe don't relate to your partner at all, or don't like, what if I only liked female figures that were 7'5" and 700 pounds? And maybe, I guess, then I'm like, okay, well, that looks nothing like your wife, or they're not even relatable at all. Like, so I guess from that perspective, a woman can say, well, if you're attracted to that, how are you attracted to me? But these are all just conversations that are worth sitting down and having and like honestly speaking about. And I think if there is a lot of love and compassion, patience and understanding there, I think that it can easily be like water under the bridge. Things that you guys look back at years from now and you laugh at the idea, you laugh at the concept. But as a guy, I try not to be, one of my main things is I try not to be envious. I try not to be jealous. These are just traits to me that are very, very bad. And they represent us poorly as humans when we do participate in these traits. So I try not to be. But I know not everybody's like that, and everybody, different strokes for different folks, and it is what it is. But I think that's awesome. That's awesome, Mython. And we all know how cool Bev is. That's why everybody loves her. That's no surprise.
And then Eric Alfred Abel, member for 11 months, says, I need Latina curves on at least one figure. Gymnast curves are crazy too, and they are elite athletes.
Yes. Like I said, I don't care if we're talking about muscular women with curves or women that are maybe more softer to the touch, just curvy or thick with curves. It doesn't matter. Just more representation than the classic. I need more than this. I need more representation. We've had this for how many years? Hold up. I didn't even have it up on the screen. We've had this for how many years? How many years have we had this for? Look at this Poison Ivy. Now, at the time, it wasn't that bad, but that has been my entire damn childhood, man. And speaking of giving Mcfarlane credit, that Mcfarlane, like, I know they were like statues and everything, but some of the scopes that he was putting out when I was growing up of females, I was like, holy shit, the witch doctor. And like, there's so many females, but I'm like, yo, he's really showing off a lot of skin here and he's showing off some curves. Kudos to Mcfarlane for pushing the boundaries. And I feel like he did change action figures in a lot of ways. He changed the landscape in a lot of ways, and I got nothing but respect for that shit. But yeah, we need more, man. We need more than just this. There's women come in all different shapes and sizes the way men do. We need more. My bad. Go ahead.
Brian's here. What's up, Brian? He said, "Hola a todos." I made it just in time.
What's going on, bro? What is going on, man? I hope you got. I sent something out to you. I hope you got it. I hope you got it, man. But I hope you're doing all right. I'm glad that you made it, brother. I'm glad that you're here.
And then we have a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Sci-Fi George. It says, if only men were in shape and handsome while the women were out of shape and fully, they'd complain about that. Some people just need to complain to feel relevant.
I agree with you, man. But thank you for that super chat. Thank you so much. Before we break it down and talk about it. But yeah, I agree with you. And some people do need to complain, or I feel like anything that makes someone uncomfortable. And I understand it. I get it. But usually whenever something makes someone uncomfortable, they're either fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people choose fight. A lot of people they go on the attack. They go on the offense. They point fingers. Where when something makes me uncomfortable, it's something worth addressing 100%. But it kind of like sets off a red flag for me where I'm like, whoa, there's something here. Like there's something here for me to look at within myself before I even acknowledge the topic. There's something here within myself for me to examine. Why did this trigger me? Why did this make me uncomfortable? Why did this bother me so much? Especially when it comes to shallow stuff like looks or jealousy or envy or what just happened, or what does this have to do with that triggered me? But just like you said, George, some people get triggered and they start, misery loves company. And I think people, to help validate themselves in their own existence, they do need to complain about something to feel relevant. Because if they don't feel relevant, then it's like they're forced to have accountability and kind of like look in the mirror and see what's inside of them. And it might be hollow. It might be nothing there. I seen somebody say a lot of people are like Christmas trees. There's a lot of lights and shit on the outside, but then you look in and the tree is bare shit. There's nothing on the inside. It's just lights, and it's literally just a lot of Christmas trees walking around, just completely hollow on the inside. No real self-introspection and nothing. Thank you, man. Thank you for that super chat. I agree with you, George. Thank you.
And then Jack Boy with a $20 super chat. He says, on one of the Batman comic covers, you can see his bat dick, and it was pulled off.
Wait, hold up. He really called it a bat dick? Wait. Bruce Wayne is a regular man. It's not shaped like a bat. Oh man, this is what we learn. We learn here so what is Superman? Superman got the super dick.
The super dick. The soupy dick. Oh man.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna start over. On one of the Batman comic covers, you can see his bat dick, and it was pulled off the shelf, but that would be considered eye candy for the right crowd.
Right, it would be, and I don't have no issue with it. It's fine. He shouldn't have to hide or pretend he doesn't have male organs and a male reproductive system for everyone to be happy with him. I don't necessarily think it's shaped like a bat or should be addressed as bat dick, but at the same time, I don't think it should be hidden either. But shout out, thank you so much, Jack Boy, for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you for always supporting, bro. I appreciate that.
Sorry, what? Scott says, so wait, what does Cyborg have?
I'll let the chat figure out what Cyborg has. Shout out to Jack Boy. Everybody thank Jack Boy for that shit. Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much, man. That was $20 chat,
you guys
man.
Are literally crazy. I'm not reading these, so you can read them on the screen.
I'm not reading them.
Insane.
Suka did the whole song. Spider-Man. That's what I'm saying. Like, what makes it a Spidey dick or a spider dick? Like, that's scary. Like, God. Just the concept of it is scary. Is Batman's technically, does it hang upside down? Is that what we're saying?
He said, no way. My guy just paid $20.
No, he didn't. Jack Boy is always supporting it. We bring up his shit regardless a lot of the times. He's busy, but that shit is hilarious though. He triggered
Archie, what's
everybody in the
up?
chat with
Archie's
that.
here, by the way, babe. He just popped in.
Hey, what's going on, G? I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you made it, man. I'm glad you're here. We're gonna start wrapping up soon. We've been here since 9 o'clock, and we're at the point I could tell when the chat starts to get a little restless because they start bringing up stuff like bat dicks. But yeah. Oh man, that was good. That was funny.
JC Fett with the member chat for 11 months says, "What's up, Ninja? Here at work, so thanks for keeping me entertained. Are you going to Rhode Island Comic Con?"
Is that the one that we just spoke about, man?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. I might be tripping. This is something good to talk about before we wrap up with the female figures. But I looked on the website, and anybody let me know if I'm tripping. Bev, Mython, and I don't know who's going to Rhode Island Comic Con. But when I looked up on the website, it said the admission fee for one person to walk the convention floor was $120. Now, I'm from New York. I've gone to New York Comic Con and that shit, and so I'm used to those $50, $60, $70. What is so amazing and great about Rhode Island Comic Con? I know Valorverse is gonna be there. Hey, that's great, but $120 just to walk the floor, and then I think children was $60 or something like that. So kids 12 and under,
$50. Yeah,
$50, $60 for kids, and for adults is $120. Bro,
PowerCon wasn't even that crazy, and that was the biggest
conventions
convention.
are getting out of hand with these prices, bro. Just to walk around, I go to car meets and car
New York
conventions.
Comic Con ain't even that expensive.
That's what I'm saying. I go to these other things, and there ain't no way they charging $120 to just walk the floor. But these are just toys. These are just random vendors set up with some toys, and they want $120 just to walk the floor. So for anybody that wouldn't be going by themselves, if you're going to bring your significant other, worse, if you got two significant others and a kid in, you're going to wind up spending almost $400 just to walk into the door. That's just to walk into the door. Am I the only one that's tripping? I think that shit is outrageous. That is wild. But JC, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going, JC.
Nah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy. JC on like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go, bro, because I'm never gonna be like, I never want to have to tell. And look, you want to talk about selflessness. Being selfless is a big thing, or just trying not to be selfish, because I feel like there's so many selfish people in the world, and that doesn't make the world better. So being selfless in my relationship with the girls, and the girls try to be selfless with me, and it's a big thing here, right? So they said, especially for like Rhode, they're like, no, you can go. We'll just stay in the hotel and relax, or we'll just stay in the car and relax. We'll drive around, we'll check out the food, and then we'll pick you up, and then we'll go back home. I feel bad because it's not like I'm dragging them along. They're interested in this stuff too. They collect action figures, especially NECA figures, especially pop figures, and they would like to walk the floor too. So how do I look being like, oh no, I'm not going to pay for everybody to get in. I'm just going to walk in and walk the floor, knowing that my significant others are also interested. I can't do that. So for me, it's going to be at least $350 just for us to walk the floor. And I would love to be there. I would love to see Vala and these guys. But if I'm not getting in for free, or if I'm not a guest or anything like that, and that's $350 just to walk the floor. I would love for the Find My Figures ladies to be able to walk the floor and go live with you guys and stuff. But we do that for the more modest conventions. What is Rhode Island Convention, and why is it $120? So the 3-day weekend is $120. Just looked it up. A single day is $65. Okay. So for the 3 days, it would be $120 per person, and a single day is $65. And I said, what is it about Rhode Island Convention? Because that's New York Comic Con prices. $60 to $80. I think now maybe New York Convention even pushed it up to $100. Look, I said $60 to $80 compared to New York. For that much admission, that sounds ridiculous for a small. That's what I'm saying. Gee, it's not just me, bro. What is it about this convention that it makes it comparable? It shouldn't be comparable at all, but what price-wise makes it comparable to New York Comic Con? That's like San Diego Comic Con. Like, what is going on where these smaller conventions are charging almost $100 or anything more than $50, $40, to be honest, to just walk the floor? That shit is crazy. That's crazy. My bad, I'm ranting because that shit, that's annoying to me. But go ahead, what did I miss?
Collect and Disconnect member for 8-month chat says, Ninja, when is your Articulated Fight Club Thicky Edition Kickstarter coming out?
I'm working on it, man. I'm nervous. I don't know how many of you guys are actually going to support me, man. I honestly don't know. If I did a Kickstarter, I don't know how many people would support me, especially all the people on the surface level are going to be like, the guy that talks shit about crowdfunding and Kickstarters is doing a Kickstarter. He's a hypocrite. He's this, he's that. No, I don't talk shit about crowdfunding and just Kickstarters. I talk about the biggest companies in the world doing it. I promote when the smaller guys do it. But I don't know, man. I'm working on it. I'm making adjustments. I'm working on it. I have ideas drafted up. I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. Shout out to Collect to Disconnect, another YouTube star. Make sure you guys sub to him. I think he moved into his new spot too. He has his whole new setup either done or he's on the road to completing it. So I'm interested to see what his whole new setup is going to look like.
And then we have Action Figure Addict. This was from earlier. He said, did we talk about that Thicky zombie from Snail Shell, the one you had pulled up on the Find My Figures page? Yeah. I have that bunny girl and her bike on the way.
Yeah. It's not even so she looks great. I'm definitely getting her too. Assuming that I could find her. I didn't pre-order her. That's why I'm saying there's a lot of times I don't pre-order. I just try to find it once it's released, which I know isn't good. But I'm excited to get this. But once again, I sit back and we had a whole discussion and conversation about just female curves, and I'm sure people look at this and be like, oh well, her chest is too big. Why is it too big? Are you saying that there's no women out there, or there's not a lot of women out there with a similar sized chest, or why can't they be represented in action figure form too? If we get the Blob from Marvel, you know what I'm saying, in the Marvel Legends series, why we can't get this? Why we can't get that? Like, there's so many, all shapes and sizes. My bad. Go ahead.
And then DJ Bill Utley, member for 8 months, says, I didn't see any gripping hands with Quinn Lee. I wanted to custom her with some Valor gear. No grip is a deal breaker. Yeah, man. I mean, I would say if you definitely need the gripping hands with her, then I understand how that could be a deal breaker. I just assume, I guess, because she's a martial artist, maybe they thought it wasn't that necessary. But also assuming that if this is similar to SH Figure Arts, Amazing Yamaguchi, Reveltech, Figma, if this is within the realm of that, I'm pretty sure I have some other female gripping hands that are a similar complexion. So if you want to finesse it, you can. I'm not saying that you should have to, though, and I understand why that would be a deal breaker completely. But for me, she's just a female martial artist, and I'll try to kit bash some other hands on her if I need her to hold a gun, Mayfex, SH Figure Arts, something like that. But yeah, I get that. I think I agree with you, man. That was a missed opportunity. They should have definitely included some gripping hands. King of G, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. No message, but thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you, G, for the support. That is a nice ass kit bash too. I love that helmet. That looks like the Mezco style Punisher helmet. With a kit bash body, different parts, but that figure looks nice, man. Thank you. And we just got another new member, Black Tom Cruise Collections. Thank you for becoming a Ninja Clan member. Facts. Thank you for being here, man. I hope you asked some more good ass questions, man. That question that you asked earlier was good as shit, man. It started some really great discussions. Thank you, man. Thank you for asking that. You're a new member. I got to play the welcome for you. Thank you for becoming a member. Make sure you stay for the private live and the private videos right after this one. We're about to wrap up in like 10 minutes or less to start the private show. Mython says, I'll go all in on your Kickstarter, Ninja. Thank you, Mython. I appreciate that shit, bro. And he says, I will definitely support you. And Isaac says, I supported $300 in Brutal Realm for Athena. I'll be there for your Kickstarter. Isaac, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that so much. And see, like, Isaac wasn't even a channel member, and he said that he didn't have the little channel member logo next to him. That's what I had assumed all of my channel members, because they already support the channel. I'm like, even if they don't go all in, they'll at least buy 1 or 2 figures. But it's just, I'm like, I gotta appeal to the bigger audience too. I gotta appeal to the bigger subscribers. But I'm like I said, I've been slowly working on it, drafting up some concepts and stuff like that. And then it comes down to, finding the right partners. And I do agree when, give me 1 second.
I do agree when Valor brings up like it. I don't think it's right when people try to jump into this industry and they either don't have someone that knows what they're doing backing them or helping them that knows what they're doing. There's a lot of times people just try to jump into the industry and they have no real know-how for anything at all. Like, and they don't even have people on their team that has know-how or experience at all. So if the individual isn't going to have any experience, then at least the people that are on that person's team, hopefully they have experience. So that's also a factor too, is making sure that I partner up with people that do have that experience that I would be leaning on. Because I'm coming in with collector experience and custom experience and being an artist myself, but that's not gonna get me everywhere. But thank you, man. I appreciate you guys.
And then Prince Leo says we need more buff female figures.
Facts. Why is he the first person to bring that up? Shout out to you, Prince. We need more buff female figures. That's why I think so many people like the Brutal Realms figures, man, because you want to. I don't think we're gonna get females. I know for a fact we're going to get more females from Cesare. I don't think we're ever gonna get females as muscular as what Brutal Realms is going to give us. I don't think we're going to get that from any other line anytime soon, man. So I think that's why people like, yeah, I agree with you, man. We definitely need more buff females. It shouldn't have taken this long and that's basically our only option right now is Brutal Realms. What else we got?
King and G says, thanks for the compliment on my custom.
You're welcome, man. That shit looks nice. You wouldn't have got the compliment if you ain't deserve it, bro. I don't say shit just to say shit, but you made it look nice, man.
And then Eric Alfred Abel with the $5 super chat says, I backed Rippa and Unparalleled Universe, and I don't even like them.
Why did you? Oh, you're saying you don't like the figures? You just wanted to support the artist, like you wanted to support the creator? Is that what you're saying, bro? Give me 1 second.
We just got 5 Articulated Ninja Review memberships from JC Fett. Thanks so much, JC.
Thank you so much, JC. I appreciate that, man. Hold up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for being a channel member too. Thank you for helping the channel grow, man. You, Blake, anybody trying to help the channel grow, because it gives people an opportunity to see just past the action figure reviews and, you know, my thoughts and some of the behind the scenes videos, and maybe they'll choose to stick around and stay for another month, or, you know, maybe I wind up being one of their liked creators, I guess, on YouTube. Thank you so much, JC. I was trying to see, babe, in the chat, like, oh, here it is. Hold up. Mcfarlane Maniac sounds awesome. Apologies and no disrespect. Have a safe and good night, guys. It's never that serious. Hold on. Give me 1 second. So, let's bring this up as an example. Of how it's never that serious. So I don't block people on my channel unless they're attacking other people. That's the only time that I block people. But if they're going back and forth with me and you didn't attack anybody else, bro, like, so you're just sharing your opinion and I'm just sharing mine. And I do agree with you, man. It's a badass action figure. And like you said in your comments, it was one of your first most loved action figures. I don't know if he's still here, but maybe he'll catch the replay and see me talking about it. But it was also one of my most loved action figures too. But like I stated earlier, it's like I just didn't want to get caught up in nostalgia or let nostalgia be the main reason why me personally, I excuse such poor, shitty business, what I deem as poor, shitty business practices from Mcfarlane. It doesn't mean that I don't know it. And even the person that commented under and said, you like the character, that's great. You think the character's cool, that's great. But then opinions also get blurred into it too when you're like, it's the coolest and most detailed figure. It might be, I think it may be the most detailed figure. It may be the most detailed figure for Mcfarlane based on what he's done. I was just saying it's not a far stretch from what he always does, because Mcfarlane always does great sculpts. Mcfarlane always does great details, great textures. He always does these things. So to me, it's not that much of a stretch from what he normally does. And he said he got 32 points of articulation. The way Mcfarlane worded it, he said 32 moving points too. And I'm like, what does that even mean? But then he cleared it up earlier. He said he's including the magnets, the fact that you can swap the magnets and move the magnets around. I'm like, dude, come on, man, don't do that. And so I don't take it as disrespect. I just laugh at it, bro. So for you to say that I was being salty because my opinion differed than yours, I just thought it was funny, because it's not the case. It's actually really not the case. And I think if me and you were able to sit down and have a conversation, I think we would probably agree on more than we disagree on. But you're always going to enter a slippery slope when you accuse someone of being something. So like you start personal attacks, like, oh, you're just being salty, you're just this, you're just that, you're just a hater, you're just, because you don't agree with someone. The second you start to go down that realm, you lose whatever debate, whatever argument, whatever it is. The second you start to throw in those personal jabs and shit, yeah, even if you did say some good things, it kind of gets lost within the argument or lost within the subject matter or the topic of the debate. But definitely, man, Mcfarlane maniac. And like I said, I know you gotta love Mcfarlane to make the shit your name, right? But no disrespect at all, and I appreciate you saying apologies, but it's never that serious, man. And if you ever see me at a convention, we can sit down and talk about it, laugh and shit, but it's never that serious. Thank you for saying that. He said, right, I could have worded it better. Facts. Thank you, man. I appreciate that shit a lot. Thank you. And I'm sure I still could have worded things on my side better too. But I think that's something that I try to promote and push on my channel a lot here, which is like, dude, we're all human. It's never that serious. It's never serious enough to come up to someone's table and say what's up, because shit could go really left. It could go really left really fast once people blur those lines and everything. But shout out to you for being in the chat, for commenting and taking accountability for the fact that you could have worded things better and you didn't have to say salty and all that other shit. And man, shout out to you, man. Thank you for that. True. Zakana said a lot of context is lost in text, man. Yeah, definitely. What else we got going on? I just thought that was definitely worth, because I never silence nobody. Like I said, the only people I've ever blocked on my channel in the comments are people that start to attack other people. But the Mcfarlane maniac didn't do that. He was just coming at me, and I just thought it was worth talking about. But we don't block anybody over here. I like to hear the views and the opinions of the other side too, because I feel like if my logic stands up, it should also stand up when faced with those views from the other side as well. Once again, shout out to Mcfarlane for that.
Sorry.
Hey, no, I was just saying shout out to the Mcfarlane maniac for stopping by and taking accountability like that. That shit was cool.
We did get 5 more member chats from Cosmic Gladiator, so thanks for those member chats.
Facts. Thank you so much for the membership. Thank you so much, Cosmic. I appreciate that, man.
I just wanted to go over the names really quick. From JC Fett, you had gifted the 5 memberships as well. Those were for Stitchger, The Collector, Mark Wilson, Darren 2501, and Caesar CPR. And then thanks to Cosmic Gladiator, Saris Lupin, Gabriel Red, Lone Wolf Labs, Snell's World, Dante's Toys. Y'all are all going to have availability for this evening's member chat after this video.
I recognize the Lone Wolf Labs. I recognize that, and the Dante's one. I recognize some of those names. But yeah, all you guys have Cosmic Gladiator and JC Fett to thanks for that, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support.
And Sci-Fi George with the $5 super chat. Thank you. Yeah. Will action figures and booze be provided in the after stream, or do we have to bring your own?
Honestly, I would not recommend the booze, bro, because Sci-Fi George, if you've never participated in one of the private streams, and it gets pretty reckless without any booze. So I would not even recommend to bring that, because that would just make the chat more reckless, man. But yeah, gotta bring your own. Thank you, man, for another damn super chat of supporting, man.
Going through these messages sometimes, you guys are hilarious with your side-by-side combos. So Mython says, texting is the worst at conveying messages. Zakana's response says, like when you said all in, Mython, I knew what you meant.
Yo, come on, son.
Damn! Shut your stupid ass up.
And then Bev goes, yeah, Mython the Python, like I sent you a text to take the trash out.
Damn, why she gotta do that, yo? Don't do that. Don't get him tight.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Yeah. Mython gonna make you find out. It's really the other way around with them. Mython, you better do what she telling you to do, bro. Because you're gonna fuck around and find out tonight.
Mython says, no Diddy.
Oh my God.
What's up, John Battle? John Battle's been here. He's been saying that he's stuck playing Buffy the board game, so I'm just listening to everything. I'd be happy to add to your Kickstarter.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Speaking of playing Buffy the board game, I would love to get some modern day Buffy action figures too. We had some a long time ago that had some really great props and diorama pieces with it. I believe the one that had I think his name was Angel or something. It even came with like a closet that you could open up with weapons and stuff and you put into the closet. But they came with such nice pieces. But I would love to get a modern day Buffy, man. She was so badass growing up.
He said the Mython saga.
The Mython saga. That's a clever word for it. The Mython saga. Oh man, we still got over 150 people here just chilling with us for the last 2 hours, man. Slade on Slade said new Buffy would be great. Leslie loves Buffy. Shout out to you and your wife, man. Oh man, you guys are beautiful together. And she was already cool. It just made her more cool that she likes Buffy. That is awesome, man. That is awesome.
Blake says, funny, I also sent Mython a text to take the trash out. Articulated Fight Club style. Mess up those haters. Take them out back like some trash.
Blake, you're gonna get Mython in trouble, bro. Don't even compare when you tell him to do something versus when Bev tells him to do something, he better do it. Otherwise,
as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Facts. But
Tim, by the way, congratulations, Tim. Tim with that good luck. That's what I heard about, that you got that pink Vanguard.
I'm pretty sure you won the pink Vanguard, right? When you did the gambling wheel thing. That is awesome, bro. Shout out to you, man. Garrison Cavalry, aka Tim Taser, said, hey Ninja, check out Gridiron. They just released an upgrade for the Stinger that makes it a 6-wheel troop carrier. I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. I haven't got anything from Ninja Yolani's. I know. I haven't got anything from Gridiron. Just usually their prices and stuff. And I know a few people that have gotten stuff from them, and they weren't too happy with the quality, the print quality of everything. But their stuff normally looks good, like I said. And I'm not even complaining about their prices. The little company, I get it. They do a lot of stuff in house, so I don't talk shit about Gridiron either. I just, their stuff looks nice. If I gotta check it out, I at least want to see the pictures to it. Yes, sir. I didn't need to wear a wig either. Yeah, man. I gotta try to get the ladies a pink Vanguard. We need 2 pink Vanguards for this house. One for me and one for them. Can't wait for the breast cancer awareness Valaverse figure finna put out. Yeah, I can't wait for that either. That looks good. I can't wait to get that one. He's underestimating the pink, man. He's underestimating it. When I say he, I'm talking about Valor. He's underestimating how many people are going to want an army build and get those trucks. Dino, man, Dino, the tradition is for me to say Dino. Dino in the building, man. Missed the show, but we'll catch the replay. What's going on, Clan? What's going on, bro? I hope you catch the replay. It was a very entertaining show. We're going to wrap up. I just wanted to leave it off on the female figures, but in the private show, we're about to talk about some more female action figures and actually show some off that are up right now for pre-order and available at certain places. But man, if Chung Lee pissed some people off, the fact that she didn't have a shirt, these female action figures that I'm about to show off on the members chat, it's definitely X-rated female figures, and they look great. They look beautiful, man.
SFW.
Yeah, I should say that. Rated RR action figures, but they're all 6-inch scale, because we only do 6-inch over here. 6 inches is all we really need for life, right, guys?
So with your Mython and Blake 2-pack, we're also gonna get the Zakanin to be a Build-A-Figure. was
Right,
clever.
but big ass bicep, right? Big ass bicep in one, big ass trap in the other. Yeah, Zakanan build a figure. Yo, this man is coming through with some funny ass. He coming through with some funny ass commentary tonight on the Mython saga. I love that he called it that, the Mython saga. I want a mini Zach to play with. That is funny. Mini Zakanan. Yo, Goon, shout out to Goon. Yo, it was Goon's birthday not too long ago. Can everybody just say happy belated, happy late birthday to Goon, man? It wasn't too long ago that I was commenting on Goon's page talking about how luscious his hair is. Shout out to Goon and a happy late birthday to Goon, man. I wasn't live around that time, but it was recently Goon's birthday, man. Shout out to Goon. Happy birthday. And
he's okay, by the way. Who anybody just read the help me, he literally was just talking about how his friend wanted him to get the pink Steel Brigade and the pink Vanguard for his birthday. You pulled up help me. I just want everyone to know he's good.
Right. That was a poor choice on my end to pull up that one for Goon. But everybody's saying happy birthday to Goon. I love it. We're gonna go out on a happy birthday for Goon. But
one more before happy birthday for Goon. I'm sorry. Cosmic Gladiator says getting late here, so I'll have to catch the private live tomorrow night, everyone.
Facts, man. Catch the replay, man. Cosmic, thank you for all the support you showed tonight. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Once again, happy late birthday to Goon. We're about to enter the private chat. I just wanted to end off talking about, we spoke about Mcfarlane. We spoke about some female figures and how they make people feel. We're going to talk a little bit more about female figures during the private show as well. Goon, I hope you feel the love, bro. Everybody saying happy birthday, man. If there was any other birthdays, let me know. Let me know so I can say happy birthday, especially to any Ninja Clan members, any subscribers and Ninja Clan members. Ninja Clan members, we try to look after each other, make sure that we all feel appreciated for being here, because a lot of guys don't feel like they're appreciated for still being on this planet, and you definitely are. Look at all the birthday love to Goon, man. Alan Kenny in the building. What is going on? He said, life is short, my brothers. It's just plastic at the end of the day. There are enough things dividing us. Having said that, I'll be all in on the Kickstarter. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. Like I said, I'll be happy if you guys buy 1 or 2 action figures. All in is a big deal. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Shout out to you, Alan. Thank you for supporting like always, man. Appreciate you. I hope we get to meet up soon. Again, John Battle said, my buddy and I found the house of the Dragon Cider. And what's up with the SH Fig Arts figures? I'm waiting on my Demon Slayer fig. Thank you so much.
Oh, the House of the Dragon Cider. Jasmine and I have been looking everywhere for that. We literally have gone through mad stores. It's a cider, like a alcoholic drink, but it comes in a can. And
I had no idea what he was talking about. So I'm glad that you knew. I'm glad you knew.
It has like stuff for House of Dragons on there. Jasmine was talking about it. So I hope they're good because they looked pretty good. Dragon Cider, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Battle, man. Thank you for being clan member and just showing support all night. You always here in the comments showing support. I hope that you're enjoying your Buffy game, man. I'm kind of jealous. I want to play that game too. Hey, Lacey in the house saying happy birthday. Everybody saying birthday to Goon. So guys, I'm gonna set up the private chat. We will be live there in 10 minutes. So make sure you're a part of that private chat. I can't show off the action figures here, even the pictures of it, because I don't want to get in trouble. And these action figures will definitely get me in trouble with YouTube. But it all still applies the same premise, which is if we get man nipples on action figures, we should get female nipples on female action figures too. It should all be equal. It should all be the same. Because like I always say, life is short, man. And just like Alan Kenny said, we got enough things dividing us, man. It doesn't make any sense to come at somebody or to get upset because of, plastic. It's not that serious. And also shout out to the Mcfarlane Maniac for stopping by, taking accountability and just being cool at the end of the day when everything was all said and done. That was dope, man. Definitely dope, man. Life is too short. It's too short for the bullshit. Unnecessary bullshit. Mrs. Mython, y'all go buy the mugs. Yes, make sure that you guys go check out the mugs. For anybody that missed the beginning of the chat, the link is in the chat and it's in the description to the hella dope /Mython the Python collaboration mugs, and all of the proceeds go to the Aflac Cancer for Blood and Disorder Center. Just check it out, man. Help fight against cancer. Make sure y'all got y'all mugs. I'm assuming that if you guys are here, especially if you're channel members, half of you guys already got your damn mugs already. But it cannot hurt to help spread more and more awareness. Shout out to Mython for doing this, man. I can't wait. Next time y'all see me go live, I'm gonna have my mug. I don't know. I might wear a robe and everything. I might try to look all demure. Is that the word? Is that the word, babe? Let me not even say
away.
it.
Get it out. I don't want to hear it.
Say it. I'm my bad. I'm sorry.
Be very mindful.
Stop. I'm not even gonna go down that road. Let me see. Yeah, I think we got to everything, man. Yo, I appreciate you guys. Like I always say, life is short. Try to appreciate it more than you complain about it. Peace.
I don't want to grow up a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't want to grow up.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
They got the best for so much less.
You'll really flip your lid.
Some bikes too, trains too, video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. Gee whiz. I don't want to grow up, 'cause baby, if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Once a Toys R Us kid,
Always a Toys R Us kid.